My name is Richard Uslan. I'm an attorney in Somerville, and if you're watching this video, you're probably involved in a drug-related matter in Plainfield. Now, there's various ways to approach drug charges. The first approach any experienced attorney should examine is whether or not there was a lawful search and seizure, whether your constitutional rights were violated in one of two ways: that either the police did not have a reasonable basis to apprehend you in the first place, and secondly, assuming that they did, whether they had a reasonable basis, a constitutional basis, to discover drugs that were allegedly in your possession. Any experienced attorney is going to look at that first. And the next thing they're going to probably do, assuming that the drugs may arguably be admitted into evidence, is examine whether or not there was a proper chain of custody established by the prosecution. By that I mean, it will be the state's burden beyond a reasonable doubt to demonstrate that any drugs obtained from you are the same drugs that were placed into the evidence locker, that were removed from that evidence locker to be tested by a state police chemist to make certain that they're illegal drugs, to be returned back to the evidence room of the police department, and that they're the same drugs that would appear on the table during a trial. If there's any break in that link, those drugs will not be admissible in evidence, and you will be found not guilty of this matter. There's other ways to approach drug-related matters that any experienced attorney will be able to tell you about. I have another video on this subject, particularly as it pertains to Plainfield. One of the things that you also want to determine is whether there was valid consent. That's something the police have been using quite frequently lately to try to get around a case called State versus Peña Flores. If you have any more information you'd like to obtain, I've been doing this for over 30 years, so contact me at my website, on my telephone, so we can discuss this in more detail.